Okay, well, here's something you don't normally see on Pappabob or Blue Hind's garage. I don't know what you want to call this. And you don't see it very often in gardening videos either. But this is what you run into every now and then. See that? Obviously you can tell that's a wee bit of work. And what's happening is this stuff here, these shrubs that, as you might be able to tell, are not mine, on the other side of the fence, are sending roots over here. And those roots are coming under here, and they go under the garden, and they obviously find lots of water, 2-3 times a week you water. So we get this to the point where we're digging 5-gallon buckets of this stuff up every season, and it's all around obviously your plants. See it there? There. See all the little hairline roots? So up in the topsoil, which is where you find them all, they're smart. They're not down there in the hard dirt under the topsoil. They're up in the topsoil where all the water is. See, I start digging this stuff out. That stuff there is good dirt. This stuff here is all the dirt below the good dirt where I'm digging. I'm going to put some root barrier here and hopefully stop the roots. Obviously you find a bigger root and all these hairline roots are growing off of the bigger root. So I'm going down here almost 2 feet, and I'm going to line this side with root barrier. It's bamboo root barrier, so hopefully it'll work. This isn't bamboo. It's not that severe. This isn't nearly as bad as bamboo roots. But anyway, so I have to go down to the end of this, down to there, and line this side with the root barrier. So I started this yesterday around noon, and I worked most of the afternoon, and I've been out here this morning since around 10:30, and I think it's around 2:30 now. So what you're looking at here is probably 8 to 9 hours worth of handwork. Shovel, larger size rotohammer with a spade to get down the edge here. Okay, well, here's what's been going on the last 2 days up here in the garden. I'm going to put what's called root barrier. It's a 60 mil thick polyethylene, something, plastic product of some sort that you put there, and obviously the roots hit it and go sideways, upwards, downwards, whatever they do. Anyway, hopefully it'll hold them off for a while. And then what I'm doing here is going down this side, because they're all coming from that side of the fence, and cutting them, digging them up when I find them, getting rid of all the hairline roots. So, and I can put the root barrier there, backfill it all, trying to keep the topsoil separated from the nasty stuff, so when I put it back I end up growing in the topsoil and not the nasty stuff. So that's a bit of a project in itself. Anyway, here we go. Okay, well, after, I don't know when I started this. When did I start this? Friday, I think. And today's Sunday evening, not evening, what is it, Sunday? I don't know what time it is. What time is it? 4:30, let's say. And I haven't been out here for more. I think I came out here roughly 2 o'clock. So I don't know. Altogether, I probably have. Here's what this looks like. See, it starts here, goes down, and it turns the corner, and it goes down there. I measured this the other day because I bought 25 feet of that root barrier polyethylene or whatever it is. I think this is 23, 24 feet from that end to this end. I think it's under 25 feet. So it was 23, 24 feet. And the dirt part of it is 2 feet deep. Don't ask me how wide. I got to calculate this, see how many yards of dirt I took out of it. I'm going to guess that's 4 to 5 yards of dirt that I scooped out of here in 3 days. And I'll put the barrier up, and then it's all got to go back in there. And I also have to support that border. The stakes that were holding it all rotted out. There was nothing left there. It was screws sticking out on my side, so I broke them all off. But at any rate, we're done. That's almost 3 days worth of digging. Real good exercise, I guess, right after back surgery. I had back surgery 2.5 months ago. I don't think it's hurting anything. It's not telling me that it is anyway. But you know what? For now, I'm going to go inside. I got a jacuzzi tub. I'm going to go inside and do a nice soak in the jacuzzi. All right? See you later. Bye. Okay, well, today's the day that we're going to put this root barrier, which is this black strip you see here. It's 2 feet by 25 feet, and it came rolled up in that box. So it's pretty thick. It's probably between a 1/16 and an 1/8 inch thick. I think it was 30 mils if I remember the measurement. And when it comes all rolled up, it's some kind of polyethylene, poly something. And it comes all rolled up, so it wants to roll you up in it. So it's been laying out here. I laid it out here 2 days ago, so it went through 1 whole day of sunshine and probably a few hours more than that the day I got it. So now it's flat. It wants to stay flat, so I can go and install it without having it try to roll up on me as soon as I move it. Anyway, I'm going to drag this up into the garden, and I've got redwood posts all prepared for the corners, the intersections of the border. That border is a plastic piece too. It's been there for years, and it was all droopy and smiley and crooked. So you see these posts. These are going in the corners. The angles you see there are where the angles that the border goes from one side to the other side and down the side and all that other stuff. So it's all milled to make those corners, and I can fasten the corners so they don't come apart, you know, over time. Because that's what they've done. The gardeners installed that plastic. It's like 6 inches by 1.5 inches, and it's designed to create a raised bed. And they just screwed all the corners together, and that was probably 15 years ago. Well, they start coming apart. The stakes rot out. The plastic comes apart where the screws are. So this will be, I'll put this inside the corners and screw through the plastic into the post, so that it should stay together much better and much longer. That's the objective, at least. So I'll show you how that looks once I start installing it. You'll be more understandable once I start installing it. Anyway, here goes. Okay, well, there's a start. It's in the hole. I got to notch the areas where the posts are going to go. You'll see why in a second. Okay, so anyway, here we're started. Well, believe it or don't, this took all day. You can see the root barrier is there. And some of the dirt's back in the hole. Probably, nah, I don't know if 1/4 of it, but some of the dirt's back in the hole. The nasty stuff that goes down in the bottom. And not all of it even. But anyway, like I said, so you notice all the temporary stuff is gone. I said the root barrier is up. corner posts are in. See, there's what I was telling you about. The corner posts go in the intersections so that the the two pink pieces can screw to it securely. So I did that at every one of the intersections down there at the end. See it down there? And then stakes in between. Actually, these have stakes on them too that go into the ground down at the bottom. And I cut the paper here and joined it on the post. So I put stakes on the root material so a root couldn't grow between the nails. Anyway, like I said, that's as far as I got today. I came out here probably 9 o'clock this morning, something like that, and it is 4 o'clock right now. So what is that? And I didn't stop for any breaks. So 3, 4, 7 hours. I'm surprised me that it took that long. I didn't think it would. But what happens is that root barrier is not pliable. It's 2 feet by 25 feet. And you start it at one end, and it starts going downhill, or the boards aren't straight. So you can't keep it in line with the top of the board. It goes down. It was going down off at an angle. You see it started up. I started down at the far end about probably 1.5 inches down from the top of the pink piece. Over here at this end, I'm probably 2.5 inches down. It just gradually, and once it starts to slope, you can't pull it up because it's 2 feet across. It's got shear on it, you know, strength. It won't bend. You can see there's some bulges in the bottom there where evidently where it was going down. Yet I tried pulling it up as much as I could, as hard as I even screwed a clamp to it so I could pull on the clamp and it wouldn't go up anymore. So anyway, that's what we got. I'm sure it'll suffice. So you see this last piece is much straighter. Even that one went downhill. As hard as I tried to keep that one straight, that short piece there is no less than 10 feet. Even that started going downhill. Really hard to do that. And like I said, these pink boards are probably 15 years old if they're a day. So they are not straight. That long one over there had a smile in it. It was, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 inches down in the middle. I had to put a jack under it to make it almost straight. So like I said, none of them are straight, so you can't go by the top of the board anyway. So that's where it's at. I'm sure it's fine. Later. Okay, well, here you go. It's done. Finished yesterday afternoon, actually. That's what it looks like. All flat, no more ditches. Hopefully, we won't have to fight with roots for a while. Border lines are fairly straight. Okay, not perfect, but not bad. For what it is, good enough. Pretty flat. I don't know how much it's going to settle, but it's pretty flat. We always end up putting amendments in here anyway when we plant, so a little more material will be going back in it. None of it went away, so it's all back. Everything that got dug out went back in, so it's all it'll all able to be the height it was before somehow or other. Anyway, there you go. One more job. That's about I think 4 days worth of work altogether. See how it turns out when we start planting stuff, if there's any improvement later.